Did you know you could be suffering, or someone close to you could be suffering from the frustrations of not having purpose? Not having any purpose in your life can attribute to or be attributed to many of the downfalls, pitfalls, bad experiences that you incur, have incurred, and even will incur in your life. Not having purpose. Depression, which is followed with and or by anxiety. The frustration of life in general. What are you upset about? Who's pushing your buttons? Who's making you angry with life? Is it the individual outside of you? Is it some organization, some other entity? Is it just simply the lack of understanding about your purpose? Or is it just simply you? I believe it's you. It's us. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been around for a minute. I've had manifold experiences in life. Out of all of the things that I've done, I come to the summation that most of us are miserable. Most of us are in fear. It's because we don't have purpose. Because when you live a life of purpose, it is a meaningful life. And when you live a meaningful life, even though we have hard times, even though we have pitfalls, even though we run into obstacles throughout our lives and our journeys, when you live a meaningful life, they are less of a burden. Do you follow me so far? I've been around all types of people, and I see people who are chronic cigarette smokers. I've had a couple friends that were chain smokers. One of my friends many years ago who used to work with me, he would smoke a cigarette driving me to work with him. This has been many years ago. And before his cigarette that he's currently smoking went out, he would light a cigarette with that cigarette. And he would smoke about 3 cigarettes before we got to the job. And all 3 cigarettes never became unlit. Let me back up. All 3 cigarettes were lit by the previous cigarette. Didn't use the lighter for all of them. So when he pulled up to pick me up, he was already smoking. As the cigarette went down, he lighted the second one, and as that went down, and he would draw really hard sometimes as a joke, and the fire would come from one end all the way down, him taking these deep inhalations. And I would say to him, his name was Pete, I said, Pete, aren't you afraid of cancer? And he said something to me of the fact that my father lived to be 90 years old and he smoked every day since he was a teenager. And you're gonna die of something. Could this possibly be the result? This answer, of someone who doesn't have any real purpose. And I just use Pete as an example. One of many. But I know people, and I'm sure you know someone, if it's not you, that smoke habitually. Not occasionally, but habitually. Every single day. And when you don't get a cigarette, you're fiending for the next one. Every 15, 20 minutes on your job, you're waiting for the next cigarette break. Why is this? Why are we so self-indulged? Why are we so consumed by smoking? We know it's a habit. It contains nicotine. It has other things in it that's not healthy for us. But we smoke anyway, and when we don't get our cigarette, speaking collectively because I don't smoke, never have, but when you don't get your cigarette, you become irritable, and you're in a position where people don't want to be around you if you don't have a cigarette because of your attitude. It changes. The same is true with alcohol. I know people who drink on a regular basis, who drink every day, who drink all day long. I know those individuals too. And I know people who wait till the weekend gets here to drink and to get high. Do you see where I'm going with this? Well, I had a friend several months ago who died of cirrhosis of the liver. I'll mention his name, Johan. They call him Biggie. He would come to me and say, "Teacher, I'm trying to fight this demon. This drinking thing. I know it's not right. I know it's not good for me. So I'm asking God to remove it from me." He had a great deal of respect for me. And every time he'd be around the corner by the local convenience store, he'd see me walk by and he would greet me. "How you doing today, brother teacher? How you doing today, teacher? Much love to you. Have a great day." And he'd be discreet with his drink because of him having respect for me. But nonetheless, it didn't stop him from drinking. And did you not know that that's what killed him? Drinking. Still talking about purpose or lack thereof. Living a life that's meaningful. I don't know what occurred in his life and its fullness, but I know he had some issues coming up as a child, even as an adult. But do you see what can happen, what can occur when you don't have any real purpose and or meaning in your life? You waste your life away. Same is true when you see someone that's extremely obese, morbidly obese. I mean 400, 500, 600 pounds. That's not a normal thing. That's the result of pain. That's the result of a void in your life. And you have to fill that void with something. And in virtually most all cases, you're filling that void with something that's bad. There are people who have to smoke marijuana every day. They have to go get high. But they want to dress it up and say, "Hey, you look, this is my medicine." Or, "Hey, look, this calms me down." Or, "Hey, this takes away the edge or the stress. This mellows me out." Why does it require something outside of you to make you happy? Why does it require something outside of you to calm you down and make you feel mellow? To give you joy, or at least what you think is joy for the moment. Are you living a meaningful life? Don't tell me. Don't try to blow smoke up my behind and say that you are living a meaningful life and you're doing things that are detrimental to you. And you know they are. But you're wearing a mask because you want people to see you in a different light. "Oh, that's Joe. He's a good guy. That's Mary. That's Lucille. That's Kevin. They're all good people." You may very well be a good individual, but you need to find out why you are not living a meaningful life and stop shortening your life with the stresses that you impose upon yourself. If this touches home with you, if you know someone that this applies to, and if it's even you that's living a meaningless life, you need to try to find some purpose today. And this is the purpose of this video, is to get you to try to look at yourself objectively. You don't have to walk and look in the mirror, but if you want to physically and literally do that, go look in the mirror. But it's you. It's me. It's us. It is a shame. And we're cheating ourselves and we're lying to ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. When the Most High, the Creator, has placed us here for our lives to be shortened just because we've never found our true purpose. Why live to be 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 years old and have never found out what your meaningful purpose was in life? Life is more than a drink of alcohol. It's more than vodka. It's more than a Bud Light. It's more than a marijuana joint or a temporary high. It's more than that. Because let me tell you something that's real. Whatever the issues are that we're dealing with from day to day, when the high wears off, those issues are still there. So address the issues, my dear friends. Because life is precious and it's not promised to any of us. We may not be here tomorrow. So you better make the best of today. This is Brother Teacher. Be blessed.